Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos is a unique Shabbos. It's Shabbos, it's Rosh Chodesh, and it's Parshas Hachodesh, which means we're going to take our three Sifrei Torah. What a beautiful honor it is to take our three Sifrei Torah. We're going to read the first Sedra, 6 Aliyahs in the Parsha of Tazria. Then in the second Sefer, we're going to have the seventh Aliyah about Shabbos Rosh Chodesh. And finally, in the third Sefer Torah, we're going to read the Maftir of Parshas Hachodesh in Perik Yud Beis in Chumash Shmos, Hachodesh Hazel Lachem, Rosh Chodashim, Rishon Hu Lachem Lechodshei Hashana, which, if you'll take a look at the Rav Shamshi of earlier's translation, explains that Chodesh means renewal, and this renewal will be the beginning of all renewals. And we have a chance to renew ourselves on this particular Shabbos of Rosh Chodesh Nisan. I'd like to focus on the Haftorah that is not being read, the Haftorah of Parshas Tazria. And the Haftorah of Parshas Tazria, which the Parsha generally talks about the illness known as tsaras, which is a physical manifestation, a physiological manifestation of a spiritual malaise, of a spiritual illness, whether someone is too haughty or speaks Lashon Hara, or any of the other ills that cause the tsaras, as the Gemara in Erechin brings down. Tsaras is the manifestation. It resembles leprosy in its physical way, but it's not leprosy. It's not Hansen's disease, which is a progressively debilitating disease which ultimately kills a person. But this is rather a disease which goes away perhaps in 7 days, depending on the cure of the spirit of the person. The Haftorah is taken from Malachim Beis in Perik Hay, in which there's a great mighty general, Sar Tzava Aram. This man, the general of the kingdom of Aram, was Naaman, and he was a very great man, well known. He had a problem, and that problem was that he was stricken with tsaras. The people of Aram were pretty wicked in terms of their relationship with the Jewish people. And in fact, the Navi tells us that they used to send out terrorist cells to capture Jews. And in fact, they captured a young girl, and she became a maidservant in the house of Naaman. And Naaman was stricken with this leprosy, with this tsaras, and he couldn't find a cure. So this Jewish little girl, who was a maidservant by him, had pity on him. And she said to Mrs. Naaman, why don't you tell your husband to go to the prophet Elisha? There is a prophet in the Jewish people who can tell him what to do to get healed from this tsaras, because he knows how to take care of these things. So the king heard about this, and the king sent a letter to the king of Israel, to Yehoram ben Achav, who was the king of the 10 tribes, and said, I'm sending you my general Naaman. I want you to heal him. So, of course, the king of the Jews got all flustered. How can I possibly heal him? I don't know the first thing about it. And he ripped his clothes and he went into mourning. The king of Aram is only using it as a pretext to make war against me. When Elisha hears about this, he says to the king of Aram, why are you ripping your clothes? Send him to me, and he'll know that, there's a God in the Jewish people. I'll see what we can do to help him get healed. Sure enough, they send Naaman to Elisha, and Elisha sends out his young lad to tell him, go dip in the Yarden 7 times and you'll be healed. And there's a lot of discussion on the word you'll be healed. We're not going to get into that. Naaman says, what? He's not going to make with the hands and hocus pocus, and he's not going to make all kinds of, magic. Just telling me to go to dip in the river. I can go and dip in the rivers of Aram, which are bigger rivers. I have the Tigris, I have the Euphrates. I have to go dip in this dinky little river of the Yarden. That doesn't make sense. So he didn't want to go. So all his servants said to him, listen, what do you have to lose? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, you'll be healed. So sure enough, he dips in the Yarden 7 times, and he's healed. He's healed. And he comes back to Elisha, and he says, now I know that there's a God amongst the Jewish people. Do me a favor. Take this gift I have to give you. And Elisha refuses the gift. So Naaman says, at least give me a wagon load of the earth from the land of Israel. So when I bow down to the idols in Aram, I don't really want to bow down to them. I know that the God of Israel is the real God. I'll take this earth and put it on the Mizbeach, and when I bring a carbon, I'll bring a carbon only to the God of Israel. Will I be forgiven if it makes it look like Avodah Zarah? And Elisha says, Lech l'shalom, go to peace, as if to say, you have no choice. Go right ahead. The point here is that Naaman, when he was told what to do, it's in your backyard. It's easy to take care of. All you have to do is listen to the Navi, and you can turn over a new leaf and make life anew. When we talk about Hachodesh as Elochem, Rosh Chodashim, it's the beginning of all renewals. Chodesh Nisan has that power. There's another reason why this is read, because that's in Chodesh Nisan. It's by Chodesh Nisan, and it's about understanding that if we dip ourselves into the Torah, if we dip ourselves into the well springs of that which gives us our raison d'etre, our reason for existence, we will have an opportunity to emerge successful, just as Naaman was able to emerge successful. The Haftorah of Parshas Tazria is often skipped because either it's a double sedja or, as this week, it's a special parsha. But take a look at Perek Hey in Malachim Beis for some deep, deep ideas about the beauty of dipping and immersing oneself in the Torah of the Jewish people. Have a good Chodesh and a wonderful Shabbos.